It's time for another top 13 list, and this time it's my top 13 episodes from the Graham Williams era. But before I begin, I must explain I'm not really a fan of this era. Basically, I'm saying this top 13 list isn't going to be that good, as I feel there weren't 13 great serials during this time period. So with that being said, number 13, The Horns of Nimon. Overall, this is quite bad, but it did do some good things, mainly the character development of Romana. But other than that, it's a fairly forgettable serial. Number 12, Nightmare of Eden. This serial is so bad it's good, and I can't help but enjoy it. It splits Whovians as being good bad or bad bad, and I just happen to be one of those people who can watch this and laugh rather than get mad. Whether you love it or hate it, at least it's memorable. Number 11, The Stones of Blood. If you wanted a fairly average serial that progresses the storyline of The Key to Time without doing anything else, then this is the story for you. It's not much praise, I know, but I'm actually struggling with reasons to why I like the episodes during the Graham Williams era. Number 10, The Androids of Tara. Whilst not a story that'll rate high on most Whovians' favourite episodes lists, The Androids of Tara doesn't do anything wrong. So why doesn't it get the credit it deserves? Well, just like most serials during this era, it's forgettable, and it's hard to praise something that you can't even remember. Number 9, The Armageddon Factor. The conclusion to the series-long storyline about the Key to Time was kind of disappointing. When thinking back to this serial, I only really remember 3 parts of any consequence, and they all happen within the final scene of part 6. The first one being when the Doctor is possessed by the Key to Time, the second one being the White Guardian being revealed as the Black Guardian, and the third one being the Doctor destroying the Key to Time, thus making the whole series absolutely pointless. Number 8, The Rebus Operation. This serial introduces the Doctor's new companion Romana and the series-long story arc of finding the 6 segments of the Key to Time. The bickering dialogue between the Doctor and Romana is brilliant, and it's refreshing to see the Doctor on the back foot for a change, as Romana seemingly knows the Doctor better than he actually knows himself. Overall, it's an average serial but a vital one, as it sets up the storyline for the following 5 serials. Number 7, Image of the Fenn. The key to any great science fiction story is to have a good premise, and this serial does. How is it possible to find a human skull that dates back millions of years before the human race actually came into existence? If that doesn't scream sci-fi, then I don't know what does. Sadly though, the rest of the serial doesn't really deliver, and that's not to say it isn't good, it's just with most serials around this time, maybe they would have worked better as a 2 or 3-parter rather than using the traditional 4 episodes format. Number 6, Destiny of the Daleks. As Dalek stories go, this one is average at best, but it may be thought down upon even more due to it being a follow-up for Genesis of the Daleks, which some have deemed the greatest Dalek story ever written. But what I enjoy most about this serial is the interaction between Davros and the Doctor. They both have the power to end the war between the Daleks and the Movellans, but they choose not to intervene for very different reasons. The Doctor won't intervene because he's trying to avoid the war, whilst Davros won't intervene because he knows once he helps the Daleks win, they'll discard him again. And that scene is reason enough for it to be in 6th place. Number 5, The Sunmakers. This serial was written by Robert Holmes after his experience with the Inland Revenue, but it was toned down by Graham Williams, who feared repercussions if Holmes's original script was produced. Sadly, what may have been an even more cut-in satire on the whole tax system was cut down, not to offend. So we never got to see Holmes's complete vision. But despite that, it's still quite enjoyable, and every Whovian who is fed up with paying incredibly high taxes should put this on, and take solace that at least one debt collector got their comeuppance. Number 4. Horror of Fang Rock. The main reason to why I like this serial so much is because this feels like a Philip Hinchcliffe era serial. I know it sounds like I hate Graham Williams, but the truth is I know very little about the man. I just think that some of his decisions were wrong, except in the early part of his run, as we were still feeling the after effects of the great Philip Hinchcliffe. Number 3. The Pirate Planet. It seems as if this serial was specifically written for Tom Baker, as I can't imagine this story working for any other Doctor. It perfectly captures the Fourth Doctor's personality, and Tom Baker must have realised this, as his acting matches the superb script. Also, the idea of a deranged cyborg using a movable planet to destroy other planets is brilliant, although it does sound a little too familiar. Number 2. City of Death. It's so rare to get a 100% hit rate when it comes to script, directing, acting and casting, but City of Death did it. And it has one of the strangest stories in Who history. An alien wants to steal the Mona Lisa. To me that sounds like a plot point in a Doctor Who parody, yet it works. And number 1, The Invasion of Time. In my opinion, this was Tom Baker's greatest performance during the Graham Williams era, and that mainly has to do with the script giving him a chance to act in ways we hadn't seen before. We also get the standard goodbye to a companion, which was a mixture between the departures of Susan and Joe. Sadly, it lacked the heart of the previous mentioned departures. Other issues I have with this serial is the very sudden change of the enemy halfway through the story. Also, the Sontaran makeup seems to be getting worse with each Sontaran appearance. How is that possible? So there it is, my top 13 episodes from the Graham Williams era. And I have to admit, it was a struggle to do this video. I very much doubt people will agree with my choices, and if you don't, why not comment below and tell me your favourite episodes and where I went wrong with my choices.